If you had $1,000 to invest
Mhm.
and you had to invest it somewhere, where would you be investing it?
Well,
And how would you be like the general philosophy towards wealth creation at such a stage? If you had $1,000, how would you be thinking about creating wealth for yourself?
Cathie Wood has built a multi-billion-dollar fund by making calls that others are afraid to, and she's laid out a roadmap where technologies like AI and robotics don't just change the world, they completely redefine how wealth is created. I've analyzed her latest breakdown, and we need to talk about the core strategies she believes will generate more than a tenfold return in the next decade. First, let's look at one of her biggest and most controversial predictions, which centers on transforming the single largest purchase most people make, their car, from a liability into a cash-flowing asset.
and now our prediction, the stock is, I'm not going to be exactly right on this, $270, $280. Our prediction in 5 years is 2,600, and 90% of that valuation comes not from the electric vehicle, but from this robotaxi platform. Because the electric car, if you think about it, is a one-shot sale. Sell and hope they come back when they're replacing their car.
This essentially means that we'll be driving cars that we can click a button and then it becomes an autonomous taxi. So I go on holiday, I have my Tesla car at my house. When I go on holiday, the car turns into a taxi and starts chauffeuring people around. It makes me money. But also from the consumer's perspective that are trying to hail a taxi, at any point I can go on my Tesla app, press a button, a autonomous car comes to me with no one driving it, and it takes me to my destination with no driver at all.
Right.
And then the recurring revenue model, I believe, is you subscribe.
It probably could. It
To the network?
could be you could subscribe to the network, or they could, maybe it could be either or subscription or a la carte if you don't think you're going to use it that much.
The key principle here isn't just about Tesla's stock hitting a specific number. The real paradigm shift is the redefinition of asset ownership for the average person. For over a century, a car has been a rapidly depreciating asset, a hole in your pocket. Cathie's thesis is that it's about to become an income-producing asset you can deploy with the click of a button. This is a fundamental change to personal finance. Think about it, a robot that you own working for you, generating cash flow while you sleep or go on vacation. This isn't just an investment in a car company. It's an investment in a decentralized transportation network where individuals own the productive assets. The wealth creation potential here isn't just for shareholders. It extends to the owners of the vehicles themselves. It's a critical piece of the puzzle because it creates a new, accessible stream of passive income that has never existed before. But as big as this idea is, she believes the robotaxi network is just the precursor to an even larger market.
One other thing about Tesla, though, in that $2,600 number, we do not include much for humanoid robots. Now, this is happening faster than we thought. And the reason it's happening faster is humanoid robots. They are the convergence of the same three technologies or innovation platforms as robotaxis. Robots, robotics, so actuators and so forth, getting them to work. Energy storage, battery operated, and AI. So Tesla's way ahead of the game on humanoid robots, and yet we have very little. Now, Elon thinks that the humanoid robot business is going to dwarf the robotaxi business. And we think he's right, but longer term. So as I mentioned, we expect all in around the world, including China, not just Tesla, but the entire ecosystem, an $8 to $10 trillion market in the next 5 to 10 years. For humanoid robots, we expect a $26 trillion revenue market. Now, that's going to be a little further along. Robotaxis will happen faster, but it may not be as distant as we were once thinking.
The core principle here is understanding the scale of economic transformation. If robotaxis are about optimizing an existing multi-trillion-dollar industry, transportation, humanoid robots are about creating an entirely new economic engine by automating physical labor itself. The numbers are staggering. An $8 to $10 trillion market for autonomous mobility, dwarfed by a projected $26 trillion for humanoid robots. What this really signals is a productivity revolution on a scale we haven't seen since the Industrial Revolution. We're not talking about incremental improvements. We're talking about a step change in economic output. For a wealth strategist, this is the signal to look for companies that aren't just building a product, but are building the foundational platforms for this new economy. The investment thesis moves from owning the application, the car, to owning the intelligence and hardware that enables all future applications. This convergence of hardware and AI isn't just happening in the physical world. It has a parallel in the digital world, which brings us to her forecast for Bitcoin.
So you think Bitcoin will potentially multiply in value by 15 times in the next 5 years? Wow, that'd be pretty crazy.
It's a very big idea because it is a new asset class. It does represent a global monetary system, unlike any other digital asset out there. It is backed by the largest computer network in the world. The layer 1, which is the base layer, has not been hacked. Think about that. Since 2009, when it was released, not been hacked. How many systems can say that? And it is a technology. It is native to the internet. And again, digital assets, or any Bitcoin, Ether, Solana, all of them exist because they're vying to be the native currencies to the internet and to enable smart contracts and really transform the financial services industry.
Their prediction of $1.5 million per Bitcoin by 2030 is the headline, but the strategy behind it is what matters. Cathie identifies 3 core drivers: its emergence as a new institutional asset class, its function as digital gold, and its critical role as an insurance policy in emerging markets. This isn't about speculation. It's about a structural shift in the global financial system. The most important piece of this for wealth creation is the institutional adoption. For over a decade, Bitcoin was primarily a retail-driven asset. The launch of spot ETFs fundamentally changed the game. It created a regulated, accessible bridge for trillions of dollars of institutional capital to flow into a digitally scarce asset. We are in the absolute earliest stages of that capital migration. The supply is fixed, but the demand from the world's largest financial institutions is just starting to wake up. That supply-demand imbalance is the engine for the potential price appreciation she's forecasting. And just as this digital technology is rewiring finance, other breakthrough technologies are set to rewire one of the world's largest industries, healthcare.
We think the most profound application of AI is going to be in healthcare. Because of AI, and this is already beginning to happen, we are able to diagnose cancer with a blood test in stage 1. Think about that. If you discover cancer in stage 1, you can save most people, right? And maybe even before stage 1. Why? This is the convergence of sequencing technologies. So DNA, RNA, protein sequencing technologies. And then the third technology that is breakthrough and already making a difference is CRISPR gene editing. The convergence of those 3 technologies is beginning to cure disease. So a company called CRISPR Therapeutics, which is one of the largest in our ARKG fund and in the top 10 in our ARKK fund, has developed a therapy to cure sickle cell disease and beta thalassemia. Both of those are blood-related diseases, with one treatment. Think about that.
The principle here is that the greatest wealth generation often comes from applying a revolutionary technology to an old, inefficient, and massive industry. Healthcare is the ultimate example. The convergence of AI, genomic sequencing, and CRISPR gene editing isn't just an improvement, it's a complete system reboot. We're moving from a system of managing chronic disease to one of curing it, often with a single treatment. From a wealth perspective, this is a two-sided opportunity. First, you have the disruption of the existing multi-trillion-dollar chronic care industry. The companies that rely on selling treatments for a lifetime will be threatened. Second, you have the creation of an entirely new market based on cures and preventative diagnostics. The value of curing a disease, both in economic terms and human terms, is immense. Investing here is a bet that solving humanity's biggest problems will also be one of the century's greatest economic opportunities. These individual technological revolutions in transport, labor, finance, and health all add up to a massive macroeconomic shift.
If you look from 1500 to 1900, and you try and figure out what real GDP growth was back then, real economic growth. As best as Brett Winton, our chief futurist, in consultation with academics, can determine, it was roughly 0.6% per year. And then we had the Industrial Revolution. We had the internal combustion engine, telephone, electricity. And for the past 125 years, real GDP growth has been 3%. And most living standards have gone up over time. Some more than others, I know that's a debate, but most have gone up. As we look forward, based on the 5 innovation platforms around which we have centered our research and investing, if we're right, real GDP growth in the next 5 years could accelerate to 7.3%. And that gives you a sense of the economic activity, wealth generation out there.
This is the single most important chart for any long-term investor to understand. Moving from 3% to over 7% annual real GDP growth is not a small change. It is a violent acceleration of wealth creation. This is the why behind all the individual investment theses. The money isn't just being shifted around, the entire economic pie is projected to grow at a rate not seen in modern history. What this means is that the old rules of investing, which were based on a 3% growth world, may no longer apply. The biggest risk is not volatility, it's being left behind. It's clinging to safe investments from the old economy while a new one is being built at exponential speed. The core strategy becomes clear. You have to own a piece of the innovation that is driving this acceleration. You have to get on the right side of change, because the growth on that side will be an order of magnitude greater than everything else. So, with all this change, how does the average person with the small amount of capital even begin to participate?
If you had $1,000 to invest and you had to invest it somewhere, where would you be investing it?
Well,
And how would you be like the general philosophy towards wealth creation at such a stage? If you had $1,000, how would you be thinking about creating wealth for yourself?
a couple of things. Averaging into either an ETF.
What's an ETF?
ETF, exchange traded fund. So it treats a group of stocks like one stock. So ARKK it's 36 stocks, but you can buy them by purchasing ARKK.
And you can do that on your mobile phone by
You
downloading
can do it on your mobile phone.
a bunch of different apps that allow you to just buy that one ETF, which means you own 35 stocks.
Yes. And
And your team are basically choosing what those 35 stocks are
yes,
based on your research.
right. And ARKK are our highest conviction stocks, and they offer an exposure to all of the innovation platforms that we've talked about.
This brings everything down to a simple, actionable strategy. After discussing world-changing technologies and multi-trillion-dollar markets, the advice for someone starting with $1,000 is to dollar-cost average into a diversified basket of innovative companies via an ETF. The core principle is powerful. Don't try to pick the single winner in a revolution. Instead, own the revolution itself. This is critical because it removes the two biggest enemies of the retail investor: emotion and the need to perfectly time the market. By buying a little bit on a regular schedule, you average out the volatility and systematically build a position in the platforms that are shaping the future. It's a disciplined, long-term strategy that allows you to participate in the massive upside of this technological shift without needing to be an expert on any single company. This is the most practical and proven way for most people to get on the right side of change. Ultimately, the analysis from Cathie Wood provides a clear, if audacious, blueprint for the future. The strategies are laid out and the scale of the opportunity is unparalleled. The only real question left is, are you positioning yourself to own a piece of this future, or are you waiting to be disrupted by it?